Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Got a little video here. I'm going to show you that on a little Vevor diesel heater, the little Chinese diesel heaters you hear about all the time. So we got one of them to try out. We don't do a lot of videos for advertisements and stuff like that, but here in Alaska, these little Chinese diesel heaters are extremely popular, and I just wanted to show you what one looks like and how well they work. So we have one here from Vevor, and I will show you how that one works. You can get them off Amazon, and I'll put a link in the description on where you can get them. So check it out. These little diesel heaters the other day from Vevor. You can get them on Amazon and different things, but I'm going to open this one up, see what it looks like. These little things actually work really good. So we'll see what this one looks like. Got some different accessories here that come with it. Book. Let's see if I can get it pulled up out of the box here. Alright. I think we're going to get it here. Get it out of here and get it set up on the table here where we can take a look-see at it. See what that looks like. Grab something here. All right. Pretty nice looking little unit. It's all self-contained. Got the fuel tank right here. This one's pretty nice. I haven't seen this feature on one before, where the cover actually lifts off of it. That'll be pretty nice, because it seems like, you know, these little things are not hugely expensive, but you know, it seems like they all have a few issues every now and then. Requires a little bit of adjusting, but it's I've never seen one that easy to get to everything, you know, that way you could get to the fuel lines, fuel pump, all that kind of stuff. This is really nice. It's got wires and everything right here. That's already got a fuse. So all you got to do is hook these to 12 volts and make this thing work. Now, it also comes with another box here that has the exhaust pipe and the hot air discharge pipe as well, and we'll get this thing set up and we'll finish the video. I think these things hold about 1 gallon of fuel. We've got another one that's not as nice as this one. It wasn't from Vevor, but I actually like the looks of this one here significantly better, because I've had to cover off the other one numerous times, and it's held on with screws. But they do come with a remote, so you can actually start these things with a remote, turn them off with a remote, as well as turning them up and turning them down with the remote as well. So they're a pretty cool little setup. So we'll get this one fueled up and hooked up to some power where we can try it out and see what kind of air temperatures we're getting out of it and all that. You can actually get these off Amazon, and or you can buy them direct from Vevor, I'm assuming, but Amazon it seems to be the go-to place here in Alaska. So anyway, check it out. All right, so I pulled the cover back off. I put the exhaust pipe on, the intake pipe on. The cool thing about this one here is these clamps are normally really hard to get to where they're located at. But the nice thing about this one here, where the cover comes off of it, when you put the clamps on there, it's actually got access holes right here to get in here and tighten the clamps up. Because otherwise those clamps are really hard to get tightened up. And you can see it's setting crooked here, because these little things, you pretty much got to set them up on something to give the exhaust pipe some clearance on the ground, or whatever you choose to set them on. So anyway, I'll get the cover back on this one here, and I believe this one here will about be ready to try out. All right, you see I went out and cut a couple of boards. Just had an old 4x6 laying around. I just cut 2 of them off. So screw this down to that 4x6, and that gives me plenty of clearance under that exhaust pipe. And then I won't have to worry about that. These little things are really handy. I got a little guest cabin out back. I'll show you here in a minute. It'll heat that. And these are also really nice for ice fishing. You can go and just hook them up to the snowmobile battery and or snow machine. I better pronounce that correctly for Alaska. But anyway, you can hook it up to that. These things draw very little power, so you don't really have to worry about it running your battery down. But you could easily run it a tank of gas through it and still be able to start your machine. But the nice thing about snowmobiles is they do have a rope starter on them too, so if it don't start, that's another option. So right now, everything's hooked up. I got the air intake here, the exhaust here. I'll bend that around and point that the other direction, and that'll be done. And it comes with a muffler. You can put a muffler on here if you want to. Main thing, you just want to turn it so it wouldn't get water in it. If you was to leave it sitting out overnight or something. So anyway, it's really cool. It's really cool that this cover comes off of these, because that's really a big help to for getting that all put back together. So next thing, we'll put fuel in it. Okay, I hooked it up. Have some fuel in it. All you got to do is hook a positive and negative 12-volt wire to the wires already provided. The awesome thing about this one too is you can see the fuel gauge right here on the side of it, so you can see how much fuel you have all the time too. So what I did here was put a board in here and in my window, and this is kind of a little guest cabin that we have here on the property, and we have this toolbox there below. It's the batteries. We're totally off grid here, so we have to have alternate sources of power. So we have solar and generator. And out here I have a propane heater and one of these heaters. So you got to have backups for everything. So we'll go inside and see where it's coming out inside here. A little vent right here under the window. Quick, easy little install there. Nothing fancy, but it works. So we'll let her get going, build up some heat here, and then I'll come out and we'll see what kind of temperatures it's putting out. So just now starting to warm up on the exhaust just a little bit. You can still hear the fuel pump running as it's heating itself up to take off. So the little pump, can kind of get obnoxious, but right now it's turned up on its highest setting. So once it's burning, and we'll turn it back down, and the fuel pump slows way down. So I think it may have just shut off. I may not have had it primed good, so let me look at that. All right, you can hear it now. I don't have the muffler on it. Basically what was wrong with it, it just took a couple of cycles there to make it actually get fuel into the burner. So ideally on these, it's best if you don't run them out of fuel. They don't hurt them, but they have to run a couple of cycles to get restarted to get it actually pumped up in there. So right now it's actually running on high. These things put out a lot of heat out of the exhaust, and so we'll see what kind of temperature the exhaust pipe is. And It takes a little bit to actually get up to temperature. Right now the exhaust looks like it's only running right at 200 degrees. So we'll look inside here, see what kind of air temperature we're getting in here. Again, it'll take it a few minutes to actually build all the way up there to where it needs to be, but right now it's putting out 100 and no, we're still climbing. 130 so far, 140. So we'll let her heat for a minute. And you got to remember too, it's drawing outside air. So you know, if you had your intake on the inside where you're actually drawing room temperature air back in there, of course it would heat much faster. But it's easier just to hook it up and let it draw outside air and blow the hot air inside. So right there up to 165 so far. I would expect that to exceed 200 before we're done here. So I might go ahead and put the muffler on it just to quieten it down a little bit. It's actually a little bit louder than I thought it might be, but you know, if you're not sitting right around it, it's still not a big deal, but it is louder than I thought it would be. So I'll put the muffler on it. Okay, now you can hear with the muffler on it. The muffler does quieten it down significantly. When you put the muffler on it like that, it does need a support on it. It comes with a support bracket. The muffler also has a small hole in the bottom of it. You can see it blowing out a little bit of steam right there. You'll make sure you have that on the bottom because there's condensation that will come out of there, so as with any hot exhaust. So make sure you have that pointing down and a support on it if you're going to put the muffler on it like that. So we'll go back inside, see what kind of temperature we're at running right now. Pretty hot now. I'm 230 degrees right now. After running for a few minutes, so it's drawing in 20 degree air from outside. That's pretty darn good. So again, that's up on high. So you can turn it down right here. I don't know if you can see that or not. You can hear the fuel pump slow down as you turn it down. Basically it goes from 1 to 10. So you can hear how much slower it goes. Turn it back up here. I would recommend, when you hook one of these up, I would recommend that you let it run on high for 4, 5, 6 hours, because they will put out some smell on the inside until they do get everything good and hot and everything, all the plastic smell's gone off of everything. So I definitely would hook it up and let it run for a few hours. But this is this little cabin here is just a little bitty. This is like a 10 by 12 cabin, but it will heat this cabin at 30 below zero. So they do put out a tremendous amount of heat, and when they're down on low, you know, they probably use about a gallon every 24 hours probably. Up on high like it is right now, it'll use significantly more than that. I would say, you know, probably in the range of probably go through a gallon in 6 or 8 hours, I would assume. So if we take this thing here off, see what we are directly coming out of the unit. Yeah, there we are. We're still, I don't know if you can see that or not. 350 degrees. So they do put out a significant amount of heat. They will heat a lot. So anyway, I'll drop a link in the description here on the video, and you can order these off Amazon. they're pretty inexpensive for what you get. They're a couple of $100 or so. So I would highly recommend ordering one of them. The thing works like a champ. All right, so we've had it running for, I don't know, a half hour or so probably now. And see here what kind of temperature range we're discharging in the room right now. 245 degrees. You know, getting up close to 250 degrees. So that's a lot of heat. I mean, a lot of heat. But so if you have a little task, you know, where you need something like this. These things are also good for if you have a tractor or something that's hard to start in the winter time. Here in Alaska, those are pretty common little scenarios. So you can have one of these, just set that intake pipe where it blows on your engine and heat your engine up and be able to start that thing up. So they're a neat little rig. All right, so we talked about the little diesel heater and got that thing up and going. I would highly recommend one of those. And like I say, you know, Amazon is the place to get them. But that little Vevor heater, that's one of the nicest ones I've seen. So I would definitely encourage you to try one of them out if you have a need for a little auxiliary heater of some sort.